Instead of following the directions of the CFO Act, the Treasury Department formed its Financial Management Service, FMS, which combines the collection of income and the payment of expenses for most federal agencies and forces the Treasury Department to continue its operation as a primitive cash budgeting system without satisfactory controls or audits. In year 2000, after the I Love You worldwide bug invasion, I received a letter from Jack L. Brock, Director of Government-Wide and Defense Information Systems. Quote, "Dear Mr. Windisch, thank you for your recent letter regarding computer security. I am enclosing a copy of my recent testimony before the U.S. Senate on this issue." End of quote. In Brock's report, GAO/T-AIMD-00-181 on page 13, quote, "As noted in previous testimonies and reports, almost every federal agency has poor computer security. Federal agencies are not only at risk from computer virus attacks, but are also at serious risk of having their key systems and information assets compromised or damaged from both computer hackers as well as unauthorized insiders." After reading this GAO report, I was more frightened by poor computer controls at USDA and throughout the federal government. In 2002, I wrote to President George W. Bush and to Richard Clark, Special Advisor for Cyberspace Security, quote, "Iraq war planning must include the following facts. In 1995, it was reported, quote, during the Persian Gulf War, a group of Dutch computer hackers offered Iraq their services to help snarl the Pentagon's electronic communications network. For mysterious reasons, Saddam Hussein turned them down, but a future foe might not, and could thereby gain success in penetrating America's military communications network." End of quote. I was further alarmed when I read about terrorist Ziad Sadaka. Quote, "Authorities traced the satellite phone to Sadaka, who had moved to Florida that year to take a job with Oracle, a computer software company." End of quote. The Oracle company would be a good place to learn how to hack into federal computer files. And I quoted Brock's Love Bug Report, GAO/T-AIMD-00-181 on page 12, quote, "The potential for more catastrophic damage is significant. Over 100 countries already have or are developing computer attack capabilities. Hostile nations or terrorists could use cyber-based tools and techniques to disrupt military operations, communications networks, and other information systems or networks." End of quote. Shortly after I wrote to President Bush and Richard Clark was fired, and there was no answer to my concern for our national security. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, we have a serious national security crisis because Congress has not protected thousands of whistleblowers like myself and has destroyed a government by the people of federal workers. Congress must restore government by the people by directing the federal courts to litigate my class action whistleblower complaint. A draft of my class action whistleblower complaint can be found at my website, which is www.numberbrain.com. That's easy to remember, Numberbrain. www.numberbrain.com. My fellow Americans, Congress ignores federal financial and computer mismanagement, including poor financial and poor computer controls. Congress also authorized open computer systems with internet communications to create a playground for computer hackers. As a result, nobody can know if nor when computer hackers have invaded, and nobody can know how much money, financial, military, and other information is stolen, modified, or destroyed. Congress has created a national security crisis which can devastate all of us. I hope I have convinced you that Congress must act immediately. If Congress does not act, then we must retake representative government in the 2008 elections by voting against all incumbent members of Congress. And to monitor Congress, we must elect a third-party president. Thank you, and God bless America.